right toward the top of the third inning and send it toward Bill Haas, GSOHoppers.com. Bill on baseball to carry us through. It's 4-1 now. Trying to carry us through. We hope it was going to be 4-2, but again, Blake Barber left at third base. Couldn't cut the lead in half, but are in the ball game. And now for Chipper Smith, he's got a run to help him out. Now he needs to keep it like it is the rest of the way.
Certainly pitched much better in the second inning than he did at the first. And Mitch Delfino will lead it off for the Jackets. He walked and scored in the first when the Jackets put up 4 runs. And Chipper Smith is ready and he'll fire, and then high pop-up. Cordova, well, no, it's Barber who has it measured.
Gotta be busy doing that with those glasses today to make sure you got your call on, because it is bright sunshiny Sunday.
It is really bright, and that's not an easy play. Barber was able to pull it in, and Joe Rapp, first baseman, had a single and drove in a run in the first and came around to score later. First baseman out of Sarasota, Florida. Most of the hitters in the lineup, in fact, all the hitters in the lineup for Augusta are right-handed. There's one switch hitter who's obviously hitting right-handed. All one to Rapp.
Definitely contrary to Lakewood Blue Claws when they come in, because they almost all left-handers on their squad.
Swing, and that's blooped towards right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit.
It's almost like he went to the PGA golf tournament. Just Chip went right into right field, came down perfectly. Nobody can get to that one.
That was perfectly placed in no man's land there between Solorzano, Rosa, and Barber. They all went towards it. Solorzano finally picked it up. Falls in for another bloop hit, and so Joe Rapp is 2 for 2. And that will bring up Eliezer Zambrano. Popped out to second base. It is in the first inning. And Zambrano takes strike 1.
We had some Zambrano brothers here years ago with Red Sox.
It was in the 1980s.
Was it Carlos and Roberto, or do you remember?
It was Roberto and Eduardo.
Eduardo, there you go, right.
And high for a ball. It's funny, if you go back and look at the stats for that year, and I was for some reason doing this not long ago, the guy with the much better stats, I can't remember which one it is the guy who did not make the major leagues. It's the other guy who had like 1 home runs who didn't make it. It was Eddie Zambrano.
Eddie, right.
Eddie and Roberto.
We had another guy on that team too named Carlos Quintana. Remember him?
Yes, first baseman.
Scott Cooper might have been on that team too. I may be wrong. May have been through there.
Eddie Zambrano was the guy who hit 1 home run that year, and he winds up playing with the Cubs for a couple of years. And Roberto Zambrano hit like 19 home runs and never made it to the major leagues. Swing and a miss there, and it's 2-2 to Zambrano.
Who managed that team? Doug Camilli? Was it Doug Camilli days or someone else?
That would have been
had a rough time of it, I think. Yeah.
That would have been somewhere in there. Would have been
right.
2-2 to Eliezer Zambrano. And that's inside for a ball, 3-2.
Remember a lot of those days at the old place, kind of simpler times back then, different type stadium, and now we've got this new stadium downtown, got big apartments and condos going up, a motel soon to go up next door. This is really changing the downtown landscape, New Bridge Bank Park.
It's just about most of the evidence of the old North State Chevrolet place is now rubble. It's all been knocked down.
Gives you a nice clear look out that way too. It'll be that way for a while. It does look nice looking out toward left field. I read yesterday where Roy Carroll is due to put up a new motel or hotel next door over here, coming up soon.
3-2 on Zambrano, who fouled that last pitch off to hold the count there, 3-2. Joe Rapp on first base with a very small lead, and ball 4.
About the third walk of the day now for Chipper Smith. Somewhere right in that neighborhood for the afternoon.
Tell you what, for guys on the 85 pitch count, he's really running it up.
Up a bunch. Same thing, I think, with Chad James when he came in tonight. He was throwing a lot of pitches early in his contest, able to kind of slow it down as the game went on, able to stay a little longer than they expected. But boy, right now, like you say, Chipper Smith is using up his load early in this one. That's a little bit of movement now for the players to head down and take their seats in the bullpen bench now, too.
Chucky Jones to the plate. Singled and drove in a run in the first inning. Smith into his windup. Runners on first and second. 1 out. Stand there for a strike. We're in the top of the third inning, and it's 4-1 Augusta. 4-5-1 for the Jackets. 1-3-1 for the Hoppers. Chipper Smith with his work cut out for him right here, trying to keep the score from getting out of hand. And missed outside. 1-1.
Last thing you want to do is give back the run you just were able to get. That just completely destroys all the effort you did to get that run and finally get on the board. Don't want to give it back.
Biggest thing a pitcher can do after your team scores is come out, put up a 0. 1-1 on the way, and that is low. Tony Caldwell blocks it, keeps it in front of him. 2-1. Chucky Jones, drafted in the 7th round in 2010. 6'3", 235. From Boonville, Missouri. There's a Boonville, North Carolina, I believe, on the other side of Winston-Salem.
I think you're right.
And off speed there. Stays outside. 3-1.
Toss it in the bullpen. Blake Logan. Big Blake Logan down to our left.
The plan was to go to Matt Milroy as the second pitcher, but I think they wanted to get deeper into the game. So Logan may be in here fairly soon. Chipper Smith just having all kinds of trouble and gets an inside corner for a strike there. So it's 3-2 to Chucky Jones. 226, 7 homers, 36 runs batted in. Smith looks at second. Fire in, ground ball to Barber. Cordova. Rosa called him out. Got the double play.
Looking good.
4-6 to 3, and Chipper Smith, very good job extracting himself from a potential messy situation there. So, Augusta, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. We're through the top of the third inning here at Newbury.